What is up guys, and welcome back to my channel. On today's video, I am taking you through the top 10 places that you must visit when you're in Sri Lanka. In this list, I have omitted some of the more popular places that keep getting mentioned in other videos to avoid overcrowding, but I've included some new and updated places for you guys to experience. If you guys are curious and you want to know more in detail about any one of the locations on this list, I have visited most of them and have made dedicated vlogs of them, so I've listed them in the description below, so you can check those out if you want to have a watch. So without further ado, let's get into it. Number 1, Mahiyanganaya. This is one of the most underrated places on the island, you guys. I always wondered why more people didn't visit, and it's truly a hidden gem. Located in the south central part of the island, Mahiyanganaya is surrounded by beautiful jagged mountains ripe for hiking activities. You can experience beautiful sunrise picnics, hike to one of the major waterfalls in the area called Ratna, take a beautiful sunset boat ride, experience firsthand the traditional skills of weaving and pottery at the craftsman village, meet a family of drummers whose grandfather hand makes the traditional drums used in Sri Lankan festivals. And it was amazing to see these crafts being passed down to the next generation as well. But the definite highlight of visiting Mahiyanganaya is the honor of meeting the Aboriginal people of Sri Lanka, known as Vadda. A fascinating and truly enlightening experience. The Vaddas are a very private community, but they have allowed us a peek into their lifestyle and history as a means of survival and preservation. While you won't be able to visit the real village where the women and children live, you can visit the museum village and experience their display of traditional song, dance, hunting reenactment, as well as one of their traditional sacred ritual dances. I promise you it's an experience like no other, and I highly recommend it. Number 2, Weligama. This southern coastal town has grown in popularity over the recent years and is another one of my favorites. It has built a reputation amongst locals and travelers alike as the perfect beginner-friendly surf spot, thanks to its long sandbanks and gentle waves. Weligama is also a great place to explore a variety of cafes with delicious, healthy and vegan-friendly food. You can expect some great sunsets on this coastline, so don't miss out on joining everyone on the beach for an evening sunset chill. Number 3, Anuradhapura. Sri Lanka has a long history with Buddhism, and it all starts here in the ancient city of Anuradhapura. Here you can find the Sri Mahabodhiya, a towering Bo tree that was once a sapling of the very tree Lord Buddha reached enlightenment underneath. It was also the capital of ancient Sri Lanka, and many kings and queens ruled from this city. Consequently, it is home to some monuments of epic proportions like the Jetavana Aramaya and Ruanveli Saya, to name a few. Anuradhapura is a must-visit for history buffs, as well as those who want to have a deeper understanding of the culture and marvel at the engineering skills of ancient Sri Lankans. When in Anuradhapura, you can also visit the Rithigala Monastery, another ancient monastery rumored to be the first on the island and boasts some structural engineering that really leave you with a question of just how they managed to build this. Number 4, Nuwara. 1,800 meters above sea level, nestled between the sky and gently sloping hills of tea estates, welcome to the upcountry of Nuwara. Much favored by the British during their occupation of Sri Lanka and affectionately referred to as Little England for its climate. It's an interesting city that is an amalgamation of British and Sri Lankan architecture and culture. One of Sri Lanka's biggest exports is tea, and some of the best plantations and factories are found here in Nuwara. You can explore these factories and have a detailed tour on how a tiny leaf makes its way from the plantations of Nuwara onto your table, and meet all those involved in the process. From Nuwara, you must take a short drive up and explore the Horton Plains National Park, which could honestly be a standalone point on its own. At 2,300 meters above sea level, it is a montane grassland and cloud forest that is rich in biodiversity, and many of the species found here are endemic to the region. Number 5 is the beautiful east coast town of Passikudah. It's often overlooked for its more popular neighbors like Arugam Bay and Nillaveli. both of which are extremely beautiful, but Passikudah is a quieter town. Just a few resorts dotted along the beach where you can cycle around in the evenings to explore the nearby fishing village and enjoy some fantastically fresh seafood. But most importantly, take a sunrise boat trip out to the stunning reef of Kayankani for a spectacular snorkeling session. My time spent exploring here was notably more worthwhile than my attempt at Pigeon Island. It was so good that I almost didn't want to share it on this list, to be honest. But I believe when we travel consciously, we can impact a place positively. And as travelers, we hold the influence on how local businesses respond to tourism. There are a few things you can do to ensure a positive impact when you travel to these places, like using reef-safe sunblock, not leaving behind any trash, and speaking with your hotel to ensure that the boat that you are taking out to these locations are in good condition and are run sustainably. Number 6 is a tiny surfing haven called Arugam Bay. The Arugam Bay Cove is a small settlement that stretches about 2 kilometers along the coast and used to be a simple fishing village. But over the years, it has grown infamous amongst the surfing community, with people from around the world flocking to this extremely tiny town to spend months at a time surfing during its season from June to September. This surf town is super relaxed and easygoing, with plenty of great accommodation and food to fit all budgets. Arugam Bay is also a very holistic town with plenty of vegan-friendly options and yoga shalas for those that wish to practice. From Arugam Bay, you can further explore places like Elephant Rock, Kudumbigala Monastery, surf at Peanut Farm, Main Point or Whiskey Point to name a few. Or perhaps you can grab a drink with some friends and just chill on the beach. Whatever you choose to do, Arugam Bay will not disappoint you. Number 7, the Galle Fort is a World Heritage Site and is one of the largest remaining fortresses in Asia built by European occupiers. A half-a-day trip is the right amount to spend strolling the cobbled streets of this Dutch fort. Tuck into one of the many local cafes and restaurants for lunch, a spot of gelato and some shopping. Explore the numerous galleries and museums that tell the story of one of the most prominent forts on the island. Walk along the embankments in the evening and visit the famous Galle Lighthouse, observe the cliff jumpers, or visit the fort beach for a quick dip. This one is an absolute must, so make sure you squeeze it into your itinerary. Number 8, Jaffna is a city found on the northernmost point of the island and is not on the usual tourist route. It has only become accessible within the past 10 years. It is notably unique from the rest of the island, and its proximity to South India has definitely influenced this region. This makes it another hidden gem that is rich in culture, with beautifully ornate covilles, deliciously flavorful food, white sand beaches, historic monuments, and a lot of other experiences to discover. We explored Jaffna deeply in our most recent vlog, and we definitely recommend having a watch just to see how awesome this destination is. Number 9. Located in the central regions of the island, Dambulla is found within the very famous cultural triangle, making it the perfect place for you to base yourself out of to explore this region. Starting with the famous Sigiriya rock fortress, an epic ancient palace atop a lion-shaped rock, as well as the Pidurangala rock found opposite, which gives a great view of the former, but we still insist that you climb Sigiriya to really experience the wonder of this structure. Visit the Minneria National Park to witness the largest elephant gathering in Southeast Asia. You might even get a peek of the rare twin baby elephants. The Dambulla Cave Temple is another World Heritage Site and is a must visit. Discover the colorful murals that adorn the walls of this cave temple, which has been inhabited since the 3rd century BC. These natural caves have been transformed continuously throughout time into one of the largest and most outstanding Buddhist complexes in the southern and southeastern Asian region. We highly recommend taking a guide with you to these places to ensure that you get the full knowledge on what makes these sites so important and special to Sri Lanka. Number 10. Colombo. Yes, I said it, Colombo. This city, which is also my hometown, seems to have got a bad rep amongst travelers, and I'm here to clear the air. Too often I hear that people have been recommended to skip Colombo as a whole, spending only one night here after arriving or just before leaving. While I understand the temptation, that would be akin to visiting Thailand and skipping out on Bangkok. or visiting Vietnam and skipping out on Ho Chi Minh. To have a well-rounded experience of the country, you must visit and explore its metropolitan city. There is a tremendous difference between Colombo and the rest of Sri Lanka. Here you can find the best high-end restaurants and cafes on the island. Perfect for when you've been traveling the coast for a long time and in the mood for an exquisite culinary experience, ranging from local to international cuisine like Japanese, Italian, Korean, and more. Or maybe you just want to hit up some of the locals' favorite cafes or shop for all your tech, fashion, and other needs. It's the perfect place to enjoy the more modern amenities that you might have missed out on while traveling the more rural parts of the island. It's also a great place to snoop out some amazing street food and real local experiences of the city folk of Sri Lanka. So there you go guys, that's my top 10 list of best places to visit in Sri Lanka. I hope I was able to add some value to your planning and maybe even introduce you to a couple of new places. If you want to explore Sri Lanka in more detail, make sure you check out the other videos on my channel where I take you to some of the most amazing places on the island. So that's it for this one you guys. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, do give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!